Hi everyone. Can you hear me? I like to check if I'm getting the comments right. I was having trouble in the morning a little bit when I was testing it out. So just shoot me a comment or text whether you can hear me. I'll change my pattern accordingly. Thanks a lot. So we are going to start in about 3 minutes, 5 o'clock. We are 4:57 here in West Coast time, PST, Pacific time. I'm not seeing any replies, so either there is no reply or maybe I'm having issues with getting your comments. So we'll wait and see. Okay. Okay, 1 more minute to go. I started doing my little yoga technique here. Very good for relaxation. Okay. I don't think I'm getting any responses into my inbox here in the chat. So if that's the case, if you have any questions, I may have to just reply to you back later on. It doesn't look like I'm getting any responses from you guys. So as you are watching me, let's take a couple of long deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let your whole system rise, and exhale. Absolutely slow relaxation response, breathing out throughout your existence. We are going to talk about yoga and stress, and a lot has been talked about yoga and stress. But what I'm going to do is bring in both the East and the West together. That's my specialty or whatever. That's my study. I don't consider myself to be a very advanced somebody, unlike a lot of other professions that talk. We yogis always think that we are miles away from our destination. So with that, my name is Sanmay Mukhopadhyay. I'm an ex-CIO, just retired a couple of months back because of yoga. I'm full-time yoga therapist, and also getting into Ayurveda. I have a practice in Orange County. I do a lot of help, uh, you know, community work, but I'm professionally a yoga therapist, and I know a lot of about Ayurveda, so I'll bring in some of the references in my talk today. So today's talk is stress management and yogic techniques. And there's a lot of talk about yoga this, yoga that. If you do yoga, stress will go down. All of that is good because yoga is a holistic reductionist system. So you do holistic part, and then you also do reductionist part. Modern science, or modern, not, I won't say modern, the allopathic yoga is also modern. The allopathic system is highly reductionist. So it's one problem, one solution kind of deal. What yoga does, and a lot of these other older systems do, like Ayurveda, like naturopathy, is reductionist to a certain extent, but then holistic. You look at the whole person, not at one single disease or one single part of the system. Then you become you don't look at the cog in the wheel, but the whole system holistically, strategically, so that you really understand the person, the system, rather than a offshoot of that person called a disease. So stress is a kind of a disease. So modern science, we have from neurosis to psychosis, mild stress, mild depression, all the way to hallucination, schizophrenia, and a huge delusionary state from the real world. So there are whole layers and layers of different diseases of the mind. Now we are going to look at stress, depression, and sometimes excessive stress. So there's mild stress, excessive stress, mild depression, excessive depression. And I'm going to do a few things also. So my talk will be, first 25 minutes will be theory. We're going to talk about stress as looked by yoga, not modern science. That's the realm of psychologists and psychiatrists. I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, so I'm not comfortable talking about those methods and classifications. I'm comfortable talking about yogic methods and classifications. That's number one. Then we'll do about 20-25 minutes of actual yoga, which by yoga I mean yoga, meditation, pranayama, and meditation, breathing practices. And I'm going to give you a lot of insights about breathing, how breathing alone can help quite a lot in managing stress. Okay, and then the last 10% I'm going to, if there's open questions, if I can get those questions, I can talk, or I'm going to give some topic like tips of how to manage your daily life using much less stress in the process. So minimize stress life is our goal of the optimal version. As I said, it is the best version of you, what you can have. That's what we are trying to get at. We're not going to try to be liberated. We're not going to have moksha. We're not having liberation. It's a very simple thing. We have an issue, we'll deal with the ancient sciences, ancient rishis that have given to us. So to start with, I don't know how many of you are actual yogis, or how many of you know. The yogic framework is a 5-layered framework. The framework consists of the bodily parts, the annamaya kosha. Then you have the breath layer, breathing, and the pranic layer. So I'm using some terms loosely because those subtleties is beyond the scope of this discussion. And then we have the mind layer, manasik layer, or manamaya kosha. Then we have vijnanamaya kosha, or the level of intellect. And then we have the anandamaya kosha, which is really not a kosha, but an existence beyond any existence. That is where ultimate bliss happens. Now, these layers have all these layers have different characteristics, different intervention techniques, different modalities. And when we look at a person or a disease, we look at the whole thing, because a disease at the body level may or may not be a purely physical disease. It could be, and most chronic diseases are mind-borne. So 95% of our chronic diseases, NCDs, are mind-borne. There is a deep-rooted disturbance somewhere in deep, palimpsest of your existence. You have layers and layers of sanskars, and I'm going to talk about some of those quotes from Upanishads, and see how profound, how big this science is. So to start with, so that is the framework. And now within the framework, um, the primary concept is the stress starts at the mental layer. So you have some disturbances, some mismatches, some imbalances. Your desire is not fulfilled. What you want, you are not getting. Your mismatch between want and desire and what the practical aspects of it. These are, and Bhagavad Gita has a beautiful quote there. How chapter 2, 62, 60. So we basically how the whole psychosis of stress comes in and can lead your life into a disaster if it unchecked. So and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So Lord Rama is talking to Vasishtha Muni, one of the tallest spiritual gurus of that time. And this is a Yoga Vasishtha is a book, 60,000 verses, a big thick book, still there, surprisingly there. We survived the wrath of time. And Lord Rama, just like Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna and Krishna are talking to each other about different aspects of yoga. Here, Lord Rama is asking specific questions about Vyadhi. What is disease and why was disease born? And there is fabulous complex discussion of how disease is born. And there, what Vasishtha is talking about is basically there are different categories of disease. One category of disease or is like external, so injury, infection. Those are not mind born. Those are born out of physical stuff. But there is also a mental aspect to it. So when you have a disease, say you have a car accident, you got hurt, and so how do you handle that? So there's a mental aspect of that. But the primary source of that disease is non-mental. Okay, it's a physical layer of. Then comes the mind. So what is mental diseases? Mental diseases are coming from our desires, our mismatches, our greed, our jealousy, our all those ripus we have. Those are the sources, and their imbalances and mismatches are the sources of something called stress. And I'll define what stress is according to yoga. So before that, so again, and then this particular this is called Adi Sabya. So this from this eternal source of perturbation comes Vyadhi or disease at the physical layer. So and I'll distinguish some of that. So what is stress? Stress is speed of mind, speed of thoughts. So what happens when these imbalances started? The clear lake. So if you are in a calmer state, you could feel that your mind is calm like a lake. And suddenly, when it is tormented, it's like a turbulent, like a waterfall or a wave of the ocean. And that is in yoga, in simple terms, that is called speed, which also could be translated into high frequency in your thought waves. The thoughts are all chanchala, thousands of thoughts coming out in a matter of a small period of time, and they're out of control. You have no control over the thoughts. Like when you are anxious, when you are depressed, you do not know what you are doing. If you are angry and you got really anxious and you have no control over your senses, your pre-control of frontex, the judgment, the seat of judgment is all gone. You are guided by emotions in the limbic cortex. So those are the anatomical terms, but in yoga we say that the whole thing is a speed of mind. So if you can calm down the speed of the mind, if you can bring it down in a sensible state, then we are good. And that is the whole practice of yoga. Physical yoga, we're doing a lot of asanas, and then the other layer. So we do asanas, physical asanas, we do breathing for the breath, and we do stuff in the mind, meditation stuff. Okay, so these are and intellectual stuff, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, where you do vichara. In Jnana Yoga, you do a lot of vichara, you do analysis, and in fact, in modern science too, you analyze your mind, what's going wrong, what's going right, and where do you want to focus on to make those impediments go away. So it's very scientific in all aspects. So what happens is, and I have drawn some chicken scribble pictures. I don't know whether you will be see it or not. I'm going to show it to you. We are having a natural interactive. So these are the 5 layers, and the pain, the chanchala starts with the mental layer, and therefore it. What happens is when that imbalance starts percolating down. So how does it percolate? First, the mind. So you are chanchala of the mind, and then your breath gets affected. When you are excited, when you are anxious, your breath is very much affected. And then it comes down to your physical layer. In the physical layer, how does it? So it takes a long time to manifest. So, for example, if somebody is having, say, I'm just giving out an example, and it may or may not be the right disease. Say cancer at a later stage in life. There is perturbation going on in here for a long time, and then that eventually goes into the layer, and it manifests based on your genetic composition, where and Vasishtha talks about it, that wherever there is weakness, it will manifest through that. So if it is a lung weakness, it could be a lung cancer. I'm just using cancer as a term. It could be any diseases. Asthma, it could be blood pressure, it could be diabetes. So all of these have a stress component. Well, the modern science is saying, yeah, it's not stress related. Yogis have been saying for thousands of years they are stress born, not component. Those are the basic stuff. If you can lead a very a life of a yogi with a controlled stress level, a lot of these diseases will be much less. There will be diseases, and then I'm going to come to that. So there's another section of diseases within. This is called Adhijya Vyadhi. Adhijya Vyadhi. And then Adhijya Vyadhi can be 2 types. One is, which is common diseases, Samanya. It's called Samanya disease, Samanya category, which means that these are stress-borne, psychosomatic diseases. And the other thing is also called Anadhijya Vyadhi, which is basically born. You are born with the congenital diseases. See how profound these discussions were at that time. Like say, approximately, if people are dating Lord Rama, there's a lot of Lord Rama controversy going on, but Lord Rama's age is so far scientifically, whatever, with the Grohana, it was 7,000 years. So people are looking at that time and thinking with such depths. So what they're saying is, inborn there is a genetic distortion because of your birth. You could have birth defects. You could be a Down syndrome child or some. Those are birth defects, and then again, this is related to karma and life after life, why it happens, and we don't want to go into that. That becomes a very in a hairy time ball there. We don't want to go there. So diseases are basically 3 broad categories. One is the external diseases, environmental, accidental, infection. Like COVID-19 is an external disease. Anadhijya is a totally outside the realm of these mental diseases, chronic diseases. But then they have relationships. If you have some kind of a chronic disease, comorbidity, they're all exaggerated. So I'm talking about a pure root here, not the interactions. There are interactions between all of these kinds of diseases. So keep that in mind. So it's downward stream in certain cases, and then there are interactions because you get sick. You also have stress because of that, right? Even if it's an accident, you got sick and you are lying down, lying on the floor, you have enough, or you have broke your back, enough stress is generated. So, and that can cause other things. So it's a very complex interaction of several streams uh, of thoughts. And then what happens is, so basically this is the base concept. And I can go hours on this, and I don't want to go there because we are already 5:17. I'm going to speak another 5 to 7 minutes on this base concept of yogic stress, yogic view of stress based on pancha koshas, based on pancha prana. So going into breath level, we have five vayus: pancha prana, upana, apana, samana. We do vyana. So we those things also get vitiated when the perturbation comes down. And then what it hits, and look at how profound these people were, hits the tummy. We have ajirnatta, kujirnatta, otijirnatta. So we have less digestion, over digestion, and bad digestion. And so the tummy gets infected. So stress infects the tummy. Those at that time, yogis knew that. And today, what are we saying? We are saying all these stress impacts are going through the vagal nerve, through our sympathetic nerve. It's impacting all the different parts of our body, including our digestive system. So if we are stressed, we do not digest well. And brain is the second, and the gut is the second brain. So what we are seeing today, a lot of those principles, I'm talking about yogic principles, have been there for thousands of years, and we are very proud to be part of that great culture, and we should be proud for that, because very few cultures can show that off. We should have a little pride in that, little swagger. Hey, we knew all this. Why not? We should be proud of our heritage. Unlike a lot of people who don't feel proud of their heritage, we should be proud. And that's good. Now the speed. So now comes, I will go to a step. So how do we manage this? So the best example, I quoted Bhagavad Gita Yoga Vashishta. Let's quote Mandukya Karika. Mandukya Upanishad is the shortest and the greatest Upanishad. Only 12 verses are there, but its explanations goes millions of lines. It's such a profound Upanishad. And Mandukya Karika, which is a Vashya or Upanishad or explanation, notes, the notes of the book. We used to have notes in our, college days. We used to take our school days. So in those notes, Shankaracharya's Gurudev, Guru wrote this Mandukya Karika. There is a Karika, the one verse. लये सम्बोधये चित्तम् विक्षिप्तं शमयेत पुनः सकषायं विजानीयात् क्षमाप्राप्तं न चालयेत्. So what does this mambo jumbo mean? This mambo jumbo means everything about stress and how to handle stress. Short but profound. Laye sambhodhai chittam. When the mind, chittam, again, chittam, is it mind or is it more than mind? There's a lot of debates and discussion, theological discussions. I don't want to go there. But debate here, this chittam, if the mind is lay means in destructive mode, like basically you are mentally drained and depressed. What do? Address it. Laye sambodhana. Sambodhana. Address that mind. Don't run away from it. Address it. And when you address that laye mind, so if you are lazy, you need to be shaken up in some way or form. The form will depend on culture and time and place. But you have to shake it up. And what happens when you shake up a bee's hive? Bees go all the way. The mind starts getting all over. Why this? Why that? Why am I? Why did I happen to be? Oh, yeah, I cannot believe it. I don't believe this. This is all over the place. Why me? And then mind starts racing. That's called Bikshiptam. Samayet Punaha. Samayet Punaha. Samayet means calm it down. Punaha. Again, again and again and again and again. So the best way of addressing stress is to stimulate it and then calm it down. Stimulate and calm it down. Look, when you climb a mountain, you go up, rest. Go up, rest. You go down in the water, you go down, wait a little bit, go down a little bit, little bit. So, I mean, there are different ways of explaining this, but what we are doing here is you are stimulating. So, stimulating is sympathetic. You're stimulating the sympathetic, and then you let the parasympathetic tone set in. Shorter inhale, longer exhale. You do few things in breathing as well as your asanas and everything, where you stimulate yourself and then you calm it down. Calm it down. Stimulate, calm it down, and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you are focused fully sambodhana, we have sanskaras, layers and layers of sanskaras. And if you believe in our traditions of reincarnation, we have these sanskaras building up for our lives. If you don't believe that, still the sanskaras have been going from my early childhood. And these sanskaras are coming out. Sanskaras are coming out. Sanskaras are coming out. As we are doing this, we're stimulating and relaxing, stimulating and relaxing. These sanskaras are coming out. We're addressing it, we're letting it out. And where are we letting it out? Into the universe. Ananta Samapatti. That's why the cosmic dance is so important. The concept of a bigger and larger existence than what our individual existence is so important. And but everybody believes in that in their way or other. Even Nastikas believe in that, you know. So there is an upper higher existence, and there you take your gunk and throw it out there. That's how you release your stress. Release your stress. Release your stress. Surrender is a fantastic way of releasing stress. Yoga, doing yogic practices with physical, nasal breathing and mental are very great ways of doing. And but the technique is stimulate, relax, and as things come out, give it out, give it out, give it out. In my yoga sessions, especially the stress management classes and other things I do, I'm in Orange County. I specifically, especially if somebody has issues, we do specific yoga therapies for that. I'm not going to go too much into that. I'm going to give you some samples. So if you want any help, you can always come to me. So this is basically the whole concept, and I don't want to take too much of time. 5:25. What I'll do is I'll do some breathing practices. So principle one. 95% of the diseases are mind born here. Well, mind is not here, mind is everywhere. Okay, we always show here. Mind is not, brain is not only the seat of the mind. So this is our yogic concept. The mind and the supramind exists everywhere. But anyway, so the mind, you need to address the mind. So it's a concept is like if there is a wild horse there and jumping up and down or running, you do not want to go and stop it. You will fall down and break your bones. You want to kind of sometimes run with it or play with it and then slowly bring it down. Keep that in mind, that when you are chanchala, you don't want to just be like a bull in a china shop. You want to say, okay, hold on, let me play with you, and then slowly bring it down. We be diplomatic about it. Those guys were very diplomatic, and it works. And that's how, based on these scriptural discussions, and in that discussion, I missed a point that Shakashayam Vijanya. That is another point which I said. Kasayam means our sanskaras, our distortions, layers and layers. Address that and conquer those. Bring it out. Bring it out. You know, like in a bucket. Bring all these sanskaras out. your heart will be free. You will be in such a better place as you go through this journey. So let's do some practicum, and then I'll come back to some tips and hints. I don't think that your questions are coming to me, so shoot it out. I will probably get it at the end of the session, and I will respond to those. When you do that, either leave your email or whatever, or however you want to do it. I'll handle that. But this is not, nothing is coming to me, so I'm presuming that part is not working for whatever reason. So okay, so we'll do pranayama for about 20-25 minutes, and because we have to close this by 6 o'clock. So let's sit down as you are there. When you are watching me do some work with me, it's good for you, good for me also. Spinal cord straight. We always have spinal cord straight. Paraspinal, the paraspinal muscles and the respiratory muscles are stretched so that we can breathe a little bit more. And I have case studies how pranayama has improved tidal capacity, FEV1, all those different parameters. And I work with pulmonologists, so it is a science. It is a science. It is a science. Thousands of years has so much of depth that modern science will take a long time to do all the experiments to figure it out. But it is a science. So let's do a couple of long deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Every drop of vayu in your system is out. Breathe through your heart, breathe through your whole existence. So now I'll do a count. I'll do a count of 8, breathe in, count of 8, hold, and count of 12, exhale. It may be tough, but do your best. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Silence. Feel it. Feel heart. One of the most important tools. Feel the calmness and swing. Beautiful. Touch your heart a bit. Now we'll do a couple of respiratory things, very important for in this COVID-19 situation. We'll do a Kapalbhati, simple, very simple Kapalbhati, and I'll show you some variations to that. So we'll do like 20 rounds of exhale only. Spinal cord straight, Dhyana Mudra on your thighs. Exhale. Okay, you just follow me. When I stop, you stop. Stop. Feel the calmness. What happens is anatomically oxygenation happens and you don't feel like breathing after that. Spiritually, this stage is called Kevala Kumbhakam. This is the stage where a lot of our rishis stay for a long time. State of calmness, silence. And this, what I didn't say in this this 5 layers is when you be in that stage of bliss, all the rogas are gone. So gone in the sense from your perspective, from the perspective of the yogi, the rogue is gone. Yoga happens, rogue is gone. And you can still have diseases, but it doesn't bother you, it doesn't matter to you. So just keep that in mind. Now we'll do left nostril Kapalbhati. So Nasika Mudra. Okay, and if you have glasses, take it out and just press it in the middle of the nose. Don't go down. COVID-19, no hand in the nose. Here, left. 20 rounds. Well, I'll start. I'll stop. Start. And stop. The other side, right nostril. So you stop the left nostril here in the middle ridge with your ring finger, and 20 rounds. Start. Let it go. Let it go. Close your eyes. Let your mind imagine, feel, rolls and roll into the wave of happiness, calmness, silence. Very powerful technique. Left nostril anything affects the ida, right nostril anything affects the pingala. Left nostril calms you down, it's parasympathetic, right nostril is sympathetic, it excites you. So if you want to lose weight, use right nostril. If you calm yourself down, use left nostril. Some general tricks. Don't try it yourself. It's very contextual, depends on your, as a therapist, we look into the whole thing, whole person, then gives a recommendation. Yoga is not yoga this, yoga that. Please don't do that. Get that concept out of your head. Yoga is not yoga does, yoga does. No. Just doing yoga, yeah, it does have general good benefits, but that will not solve your, if you have specific issues, it will not solve it. Yeah, sometimes it can even make bad. So always go to a licensed, properly educated therapist or a long-term yoga practitioner who understands diseases to solve your problem. By the way, I have an app called Dr. Yogi, Dryogi. You can take a look, download it, and use it. I also have a YouTube channel. You can ping me in YouTube, Sanmay Mukhopadhyay, or The Techie Talkie Yogi. You can look me up. I'm there. And you can always contact the OC Indian Association. They can give you my contact. You can talk to me if you need to. Now what we'll do is we'll do Nari. No, we'll do Bhastrika. This is a very important thing for different physical pains as well as stress management. So Bhastrika, you can straight. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, mushti is bala mushti, not like this. That's the Western style. We're not boxing. We are doing a yogic mudra. This has huge impact on your nervous system. Okay? And relax. It has ripple impact from your shoulders to your hip joints to your huge impact on your 10th cranial vagus nervous system. A lot of people ask me, why do you say yoga? Yeah, yoga is good, but why do you say it helps the immune system? I said, it does because it stimulates the vagal nerve. And that, in effect, eventually turns into secretion of serotonin, dopamine, these good hormones. And that helps overall your immune system. And there are other subtleties to it. I'm very crudely speaking. So helps lung capacity, helps immune system. Doing yoga every day. We have taken almost 20,000 in touch points in yoga in the last 5 months online. None of them have been infected. Not saying it's only because of yoga, but yoga helps hugely, hugely. So do yoga every day, little bit, 15, 20 minutes. Your life will be changed. Now we'll do a Anulam Vilam. You probably know that. So again, there are different types of mudras, and I'm not going to go there. Each mudra has an impact. So here we'll do left, right. So left inhale will be 4, hold 2, exhale 6, and then right inhale 4, hold 2, exhale. So just follow me. I'll start and I'll stop. Just follow me. So start, inhale left, hold 2, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you continue to do that 4 to 6, 4 to 6 at your own pace. I'll let you know when to stop. Eyes closed. Feel the air coming in and coming out. Continue this. And if in your silence, in your calmness, if you can hear your heartbeat, your pulses in your neck region or your palms, just be aware of that. You're becoming more and more sensitive to your own bodily rhythms, and that is very, very important. Inhale and exhale. Two more rounds. Four inhale, two hold, six exhale. Last round. And exhale. Slowly come out of it. Hopefully you're feeling calm. We're not done yet. We'll still have a couple more. So exhalation is always longer than inhalation. Some of the breath techniques I'll cover in the last 10 minutes. There's some of the tips I'll leave with you. It's very important to do this, and then you'll understand probably a little bit more appreciation. So quietly sit, take a couple of long deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we'll do a rare breathing system, which is very effective. We'll do a swasa. So we'll make like a hissing note. And then exhale. Like this. We'll do like 5 rounds. Spinal cord straight. It is through, this one is through mouth. Okay, this is most of the breathing is through nose, this is through the mouth. Mouth in, nose out. It's not ujjayi. Ujjayi is deeper constriction of glottis. It's mild restriction. Inhale, exhale at the same speed. One last round. After each pranayama, take a little time to observe yourself, your ups and downs, your calmness, your take care. Think about your saliva in your mouth. If you have a lot of saliva, it means you have already the stresses going down. These are some of the tricks. You can do a pulse check too. Okay, looks like my vata is down. I'm probably in a better shape. A lot of science behind this. Beautiful system. Now we'll do Brahmari, 5 rounds of Makara, and then 4 rounds of, or 5 rounds of Nakara. Ma, mother, so mouth closed, tongue touching the palate. Inhale and sound, 5 rounds. And then we'll do same thing, mouth slightly open, tongue touching the back of the upper teeth and palate, the juncture. And we'll do mouth slightly open, na, like that. Mother and Nancy. Makar, ma, this ma vibration has huge impact here. It also releases much higher doses of nitric oxide from our internal nasal mucus and sinuses into the bloodstream through the lung. Nitric oxide is very effective in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and that helps uh, the immunity also. So people who it's amazing how modern science is just catching up to this. There are certain studies coming out, they're confirming to all of this. And I do a lot of research, so I can give you quotes if you want, references. Do makara, inhale. 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 Last one. Inhale. Feel it. Now switch to nakara, tongue behind the teeth, mouth slightly open. Inhale and na, Nancy. Inhale. Inhale. Even if I stop, you continue. I'm just stopping intentionally so that you can continue and feel the vibration. Inhale. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. Feel the calmness all throughout the system. Very powerful. If you mindfully did this, we had a mindful session before. I know. I watched that. Did mindfully, it'll have big impact. Even if you don't do mindfully, it'll have impact, but not as much. So, last 8 or 9 minutes we have. I was hoping to get questions and answer them, but doesn't look like it's coming to me for whatever reason. And this was happening from morning when we tested it out. So let me leave some tips with you. There's a lot of stress living in your home, or limited attention to work, or limited going to work. It's a big lifestyle change, and therefore needs attention. You need to be sensitive about what's going on with your mind. If you are getting irritated, if your folks around you are telling you, hey, you're getting irritated, you're not talking properly, you're behaving in stress has so many different manifestations, from very mild manifestation to severe manifestations. So be aware of that. The mild, when it's coming mild, catch it there. Sambodhana, right there. When it before it goes out of control, address it. So have a daily routine. Daily routine is in Ayurveda called Dinacharya, in yoga also called Dinacharya. And I had written down a few steps, which I do. Maybe, oh, I don't need this. I'll talk from what I do. Get up early in the morning if you can. If you cannot, get up whenever you can. First thing in the morning, sit in malasana or squatting position. If you cannot do, sit somewhere at the pressure in the tummy, copper, one full gulp it down. Goes there, peristalsis happens, your anal sphincters are relaxed, your colon responds, and your elimination starts getting better. Proper elimination means proper good health. These things are at the physical level we do so that our mind and breath starts getting better. That's one. Then after that, you do your brushing, flossing. If you can, do tongue scraping. You can buy for $8 copper tongue scrapers from Amazon. Tongue scrape, huge impact. I used to do it childhood days. We don't do floss. If you can do gel neti, fine. If not, do this Dr. Neal's thing. Impact on the nasal pathways, good for breathing, good for allergies. Try that out. Use oil as much as you can. Use oil from your skin and use oil to even swish it and take it out. I have personal benefits from that. My dentist also tells me that. And she was very surprised by that I didn't have a much worse condition. A lot of us first generations have problems with bad dental habits from India. But anyway, so these are some of the things you do. Do a little pranayama. The ones I showed, maybe a subset of that. Do in the morning. Get up in the morning, look at your palm, and say, hey, I would like to make this a very joyful day. I'll not hurt anyone, nor will I get hurt. I want to make it sabka saath, sabka vikas, upar nahi, niche nahi. Exactly. Okay, equal to everyone, not less, not more. That's the attitude we need to come up with as yogis, and then say, hey, I'm going to make, and keep that in your mind. Whenever you get perturbed, no, I'm going to make a joyful day. I'm going to constrain myself. That's your intellect working. Vijnanamaya kosha. Remember, there is a string from Manamaya kosha to Vijnanamaya kosha. You always use logic. Your prefrontal cortex. That's what separates us from animals. Animals go by the limbic cortex, emotions, fear, instant things. But we have this, the frontal part. So do that. And then do yoga for 15-20 minutes every day. Pick up any yoga. If you need help, you can reach out to me. You can download my app. It's free. A lot of different yogas are there. You can try those out. You can call me. You can ping me. I'll help you out. It's very, very. We have 20,000 touch points, which means so many students with so many classes. Multiply. That's what touch point means. Hundreds of classes and 20, 30, 40 students in a class globally. So it's hugely beneficial. And stress, so if you get really stressed, one of the first things you do is simple math technology, and there are deeper methodologies which we use, which actually we have conduct sessions where we actually paid sessions. But for your own, just do run around a little bit, walk around a little bit, go to the bike and do a little bit of biking. If you're stressed, your mind is not working, do that. And then they do a quick savasana. Quick, lie down, relax. Do like half an hour, 45 minutes of that, and then 5 minutes of real deep savasana. And while doing the savasana, you can chant something, you can do your pramari, or you can logically talk to yourself, hey, I shouldn't be getting stressed, this. So another thing is it's also had roots in the yoga, but more modern. It's a time management technique. Break your time, break your day 1 hour slot. I break it up as 1 hour slots, and I use my phone as a timer. I put the timer 1 hour, done. So that 1 hour, I make a calendar. Decide, will it be Laghu time or Guru time? Guru time means strategic time, where I do not want to be disturbed. So in that time, my cell phone, everything is off. My door is locked. Like now, it's Guru time. Everything is off. A lot of things going on in the house, but I'm out. Phone is off. I'm focused. Nothing else. Mindfulness, focused. And then there is Laghu time, where you go. Hey, you're biking. Maybe you watch a little TV. Maybe you talk to people. You want to look at your phone. So I use my phone and emails and all that not during my Guru time. Only my Laghu time and light time when I can do multitasking. Multitasking is great in certain things, but unitasking is also good in certain things. Tagore said ekokata means unity. A single person doing thing is also very, very important. Just like ekota, which means unity of millions of people. We need both, the young and the young, the positive and the negative. Okay, the day should be dispersed into a few hours of guru time, few hours of lagu time, and then there also the sympathetic parasympathetic comes in. Focused, relaxed. That's the way to lead a life. Again, this 1 hour thing is very, very effective. I do 1 hour, bang, the timer goes. I get out wherever I am. If I'm sitting and doing my work like this, get out, go to the bike or walk a little bit or do some yoga stretches, maybe do a little breathing for 5 to 10 minutes, come back, set my timer again do my work. And if the work is a laghu, then I do other things, 2 or 3 things parallel. Also during eating time, and I fail to do that all the time, I have to admit, you sit there and focused eating. Don't look at anything else. Half an hour time, take it to yourself, eat with pleasure, eat with love, cook with love, eat with love, smell with love. Life will change. There's simple techniques coming from thousands of years, being we are letting yoga catch up, science catch up to yoga. Instead of yoga catching up to science, I say science should catch up to yoga. So we have reached the destination. 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. I'm just going to end with a prayer and just on the chest. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is for all the people who are suffering, for everybody's health, prosperity. Yogis don't distinguish between any life, any color, human, animal, plants. We want the whole cosmos to be happy and healthy and prosperous. Namaskar. Thank you. Have a nice day. I couldn't answer your questions, but send it out to me. I'll send it out. I'll reply later on. With that, adios. I'm here in Orange County. You can always reach out to me. Thank you very much.